The story goes when my dad wanted to marry the woman he presented to his dad, she was a blood relative, and so it occurred on the second occasion, the second woman he wanted to marry, he had presented to his dad, who was also a blood relative. The third woman was my mom, and they were not close relatives, so they could get married. Mom had basic educational skills when she moved to America and the United States with Dad. He was a strong advocate for her to go to school and better herself, as he had seen also distinguished women like Margaret Thatcher, England's Prime Minister during the late 1980s, and other women he had grown up with, seeing that he had grown up with by seeing them aspire into rewarding yet challenging roles. I remember receiving lots of money from relatives as we departed from Grandpa's village. It's something that is still practiced today because my mom gave a monetary gift to my uncle who came to visit us during 2019. I remember as a kid my dad switching my money into other bills. I remember doing the same thing to my younger baby's brother, Commander, years later in London. I remember watching television with my brothers throughout the years, which involved watching wrestling and playing Nintendo and video games. Chapter 5. I remember England. Dad liked to watch movies regarding Africa and animals. I remember one time we decided to watch two movies on the television at the same time, and one of the movies ended. I remember watching Charlie Chaplin in black and white color, and I remember dancing to the music videos. I remember Victoria, who nearly came from Nigeria, and welcoming her. I encouraged my sister Princess to do so. I remember a poor family that attended my school and how the girl was ostracized from other girls. Apparently, she wasn't taking regular baths, her hair was unkept, and her clothes may not have always been in the best condition. That didn't affect the way I thought about her, because I remember occasionally saying hi to her. The poor child today can be tomorrow's billionaire. Just saying. Hashtag be the change. Shift. As I look at my keyboard and I look at the word shift, an impression of it has on me. Why is this word emphasized? I go to the internet and look up the word and its definition. I looked at my keyboard and the word shift stood out. Shift means to exchange one thing for another of the same class, to move or transfer from one place or position to another. The third definition for shift: to alter position or place. 4. To change gears, as in an automobile. 4. To change gears. Okay, I already said that. To change gears as an automobile. 5. To alter phonetically as systematic historical change. 6. To change position, direction, place, or form. 7. To provide for one's own needs. Get along. 8. To get along by tricky or evasive means. The message I'm supposed to meditate on is to smile and to focus on Jesus. Hazel. I met Hazel in the early 2000s. She was well acquainted with the Spanish family I lived with. She had a close relationship with God and speak into the lives of my guardians to give them words of advice and encouragement through the utterance of the Holy Spirit. At times, I would use her computer, but realized through my mentor I was overstaying my welcome and not wise to use Hazel's computer. She worked for the government and had a desire to have her fitness career. I often wonder how she's doing. She told me how important it was to wash the face in the morning and brush one's teeth before praying to God in the early hours of the morning. The same advice was spoken by a leader I regarded highly, who mentioned on one occasion he wasn't presentable before God and sensed it was displeasing before God's sight. Both advice given to me was 20 years apart. I wasn't consistent washing my face and brushing my teeth in the morning, but encouraged myself to do so, because some good may come about for me doing this small gesture in the morning before saying my daily prayers to God. As soon as I incorporated washing my face, brushed my teeth, and wearing appropriate clothing in the morning, as I prayed to God, I sensed contentment and joy. Wow, I thought to myself, my prayers feel different. It must be, I told myself, due to the change. Due to the change in presenting myself before God. I recall there is a time when God informs Moses to prepare the people to have an encounter with him.